Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder lesson number 75. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and a couple of example sentences. We'll finish with a story for some extra practice and do a quick review. This is a series, so if you like this video, please subscribe for more. Let's get started. First, listen to me read the words. Mercenary, Compunction, Harbinger, Demean, Flummox, Noisome, Deplore, Conciliatory, Jaundiced, Pungent. First, mercenary. This means primarily concerned with making money at the expense of ethics, as an adjective. A professional soldier hired to serve in a foreign army, as a noun. So a nice historical example of this is that in the American Revolution, some German mercenaries were brought over by Britain to fight on their side in this American Revolutionary War. But the word mercenary applies there because these German hired soldiers didn't have a stake in the war. They were doing it for pay. And even in modern warfare, mercenaries are used regularly by governments and by those opposing governments. Examples are, the mercenary was hired to protect the caravan from bandits during its journey through the desert. In times of conflict, mercenaries have been known to switch sides in pursuit of higher pay. Compunction. This means a feeling of guilt or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing of something bad. It's a noun. So this idea of compunction is like this unsettled feeling after making a mistake or doing something questionable. For example, if you cheat on a test as a student, you might feel a sense of compunction afterwards when you realize maybe that wasn't a very ethical thing to do. Examples are, she felt a sense of compunction after betraying her friend's trust. Her compunction prevented her from going through with the deceitful plan. Harbinger. This means a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, as a noun. A forerunner of something, as a noun. So a dark storm cloud might be a harbinger of a large storm that's coming in just minutes. Or a popular example I've heard is that, in American culture, black cats can be considered bad luck. And for an American, if a black cat crosses their path, it might be viewed as a potential harbinger, perhaps a signal that something bad is on its way. Examples are, the sudden appearance of dark clouds was a harbinger of the impending storm. The economic downturn was seen as a harbinger of tough times ahead. Demean. This means cause a severe loss in the dignity of and respect for someone or something, as a verb. Do something that is beneath one's dignity, as a verb. So obviously being demeaned is a very negative thing, and demeaning someone is not very kind to do. And this word can be extremely serious. It can have to do with a lot of very, very, very serious things. For example, having someone kneel and beg for their life at gunpoint would be considered demeaning, but then also we could use this word a little more lightly and say that a negative performance review at work from a bad boss is demeaning. Okay, so there's a range. Examples are, it is not right to demean others based on their appearance or background. The comedian's jokes were clever and witty, never demeaning or offensive. Flummox. This means perplex someone greatly, as a verb. Bewilder, as a verb. So being flummoxed is to be very confused and uncertain about what's going on. And if, for example, you're an intermediate English language learner and someone starts speaking to you very quickly and using very, very complicated vocabulary, you might be flummoxed, all right? But you could also use this word if the circumstances just don't add up. They're confusing. Examples are, the complex instructions flummoxed the new recruits, leaving them confused and frustrated. Despite his expertise in the field, the new technology flummoxed him. To add on, every time I've had to assemble furniture, I've been flummoxed. I had to assemble my desk chair, this one right here, and I did a terrible job because the instructions were unclear. So that's just one instance where I was flummoxed. Noisome. This means having an extremely offensive smell as an adjective, disagreeable, unpleasant as an adjective. So something noisome is stinky or bad or unpleasant. I know when I walk through cologne stores or perfume stores, I have this feeling that the environment is noisome. It's just really, really bad. But you could use this word in the sense of trash or decay as well. If you walk past a dumpster, it's noisome. Or someone's personality might be noisome, just really, really abrasive and awful. Examples are the noisome odor emanating from the garbage bin made it difficult to stand nearby. The swamp was filled with noisome creatures that thrived in the murky waters. Deplore. This means feel or express strong disapproval of something as a verb. So to deplore something is to really dislike it, to hate it. I, for example, deplore the practice of using landmines in warfare in most instances. And the US's history of using landmines quite a bit in its warfare has had really terrible implications for a lot of people in the world. So I deplore that practice both historically and presently in the instances where those landmines are used. Examples are, we deplore violence in all its forms and strive for peaceful solutions. He deplored the senseless destruction of the ancient artifacts. Conciliatory. This means intended or likely to placate or pacify. It's an adjective. And to be conciliatory is to be apologetic, to admit some sort of wrongdoing, even if you're not super genuine in it, with the intent of placating or making someone kind of feel better or accept the circumstance. So I, for example, might be conciliatory towards someone who I don't get along with and apologize to them even though I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. Examples are, she made a conciliatory apology to her friend for the misunderstanding. The mediator proposed a conciliatory agreement that satisfied both parties involved. Jaundiced. This means having or affected by jaundice, unnaturally yellow in complexion as an adjective. Affected by bitterness, resentment, or envy as an adjective. So this idea of jaundice, it's literally an illness that affects the skin that causes it to become unnaturally yellow due to medical problems. But it also has this association of almost being jaded or negative about something. Examples are, the journalist's jaundiced reporting biased the public's perception of the events. Years of hardship had left her with a jaundiced outlook on life. Pungent. This means having a sharply strong taste or smell as an adjective. Of comment, criticism, or humor, having a sharp and caustic quality as an adjective. So when you hear the word pungent, you think kind of strong and hearty and overwhelming. And like this definition says, it often has to do with taste or smell. When people refer to different flavor profiles, pungent is one of the things they'll use to describe particular flavors, or it's just this idea of sharp. I, for example, love pungent cheeses. Give me a gorgonzola. Give me something real stinky. Moldy blue cheese? Yes. Examples are, the pungent aroma of spices filled the air as they entered the bustling market. She wrinkled her nose at the pungent odor emanating from the garbage bin. So, let's read a story so we can hear these words in context. In the heart of battle, a seasoned mercenary, known as Jack, found himself captured, his freedom now a distant memory. Surrounded by the noisome stench of the enemy's camp, he grappled with a sense of compunction, reflecting on the lives he had taken in the name of coin. As the days passed in captivity, Jack observed a harbinger of change in the demeanor of his captors. Their once hostile gazes softened, replaced by a conciliatory tone that flummoxed his jaundiced expectations of relentless hostility. They didn't seek to demean or humiliate him, though the conditions were bleak. However, their pungent rations offered a stark contrast to the luxuries he once enjoyed, a reminder of the price of his trade. Though Jack deplored his predicament, he found himself drawn to the notion of redemption, a chance to shed the mantle of the mercenary and embrace a more noble cause. His captors, too, seemed willing to offer a path to reconciliation, their actions speaking louder than words. Yet, beneath the surface, a sense of distrust lingered, a jaundiced reminder of the harsh realities of war. Jack knew his journey toward redemption would be fraught with challenges, his past actions casting a shadow over any attempts at reconciliation. In the midst of uncertainty, Jack resolved to rise above his mercenary instincts to find solace in the conciliatory gestures of his captors. For in their midst, he glimpsed a glimmer of hope, a chance to refine his legacy and find redemption amidst the chaos of war. So let's review these words one more time, and I'll go through each word, spell it, and give a quick review. Mercenary. Mercenary. This is someone who's hired as a soldier to serve in a foreign army or hired at the expense of ethics. This is someone who's concerned with making money at the expense of ethics or a hired soldier in a foreign army. Compunction. Compunction. This is a feeling of guilt or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing of something bad. Harbinger. Harbinger. This is something that announces or signals the approach of something else. Demean. Demean. This is the loss of dignity or respect for someone or something, or to do something that's beneath one's dignity. Flummox. Flummox. This is to perplex someone greatly or bewilder. Noisome. Noisome. This is having a very offensive or bad smell, or being disagreeable or unpleasant. Deplore. Deplore. This is to feel or express strong disapproval of something. Conciliatory is Conciliatory. This is intended or likely to placate or pacify. Jaundiced is Jaundiced, and this is either having the illness of jaundice or being affected by bitterness, resentment, or envy. Pungent. Pungent. This is having a sharply strong taste or smell, or something that's a comment, criticism, or humor having a sharp or caustic quality. So let me read those words one more time for pronunciation and we'll wrap up. Mercenary, compunction, harbinger, demean, flummox, noisome, deplore, conciliatory, jaundiced, pungent. Great job today. There are other videos on this channel just like this one, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and feel free to ask questions in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Bye.